Hey Downtown Leaders, this video is for May week 2 and our life app for the month is determination, deciding it's worth it to finish what you started. Our memory verse for this month is Galatians 6:9. Let us not become tired of doing good. At the right time, we will gather a crop if we don't give up. Last week we learned about Peter and John going before the Sanhedrin, and our bottom line was keep going even when it gets hard. This week we're going to be talking about Peter and Cornelius, and our bottom line is keep going even when the job is bigger than you think. Okay, so we got a fun week planned. The title of the lesson this week is called A Bottleneck, and just like normal, and especially while we've got crazy construction going on, and this Sunday is going to be even crazier than last Sunday, please be sure that you're here at 8:30 and 10:30, even earlier if you can get here earlier, just so that we know we're in our right spots. We're here to help kids feel not so chaotic, and just to make sure that you're in your small group area. So then as kids start to come in at 8:40, you pass out your snacks. You're going to have a thing of dry spaghetti at your small group station, and you're going to have kids use the dry spaghetti to create a maze on the floor on your carpet area. So if you weren't here last week, we are now down the new hallway. So you guys are the second door down on this hallway, and none of these tables and chairs will be here on Sunday, but you'll have 3 boy carpets on this side with your caddies and 3 girl carpets on this side with your caddies, and we'll be in this room for now. Eventually we will be split out into 2 rooms, but right now Detour is using the other room next door to us. So okay, then what you're going to do is at each station in those blue bins right there, there are 20 half sheets of paper. So you're going to have the kids tape together those half sheets into one huge sheet of paper and put all the tape like on the back side, on the same side. And you want to try to also minimize any gaps, because really what you want to end up having is one huge sheet of paper that we're going to use later. So then you're going to say, so guys, what started out as something small, that little stack of papers, we turned into something much bigger. And today in large group, we're going to hear about more things that are bigger. And so still for this week, you're going to take all your kids and you're going to travel down to the community auditorium for your large group. We'll worship. You'll have a host. The story will be a video again this week. And then once large group is over, you'll come back down to this room to do all of your small group activities. Yes, Trip.
I got over here just in time.
Oh. Good job.
Mom,
all right, hold on, buddy. Hold on.
Tony is strong like Maui.
Tony is strong like Maui. That's so true. Okay, then the review activity that you're going to do, you're going to have kids, you're going to tell kids that they're going to answer 4 review questions about today's Bible story, and they're going to think that that sounds simple, but what they don't know is that after each question, they have to complete a task on the big paper. So the first question is, what happened to Cornelius as he prayed? And the correct answer should be an angel appeared to him in a vision. And so you're going to tell the kids to work together to quickly draw an angel on the paper after they answer that. And each kid should draw 1 line until the whole angel is formed. So you want to make sure to tell kids not to fill the entire paper because they're going to be using it for other things. So maybe just like a quarter of the paper, make an angel. Then the next question is, what did Peter see in his vision? Buddy, hold on, let me make...
What's this?
That's a dinosaur, but hold on, let me finish making this video, okay?
No, what was it from?
Hold on, I don't know, hold on. And so the correct answer should be a sheet filled with animals that God said he could eat. So then what you're going to do is 5 of the 6 carts have ink pads on them. I'm going to try to get a 6th ink pad in by Sunday, but you got a huge ink pad. And the kids are going to make 3 fingerprint animals on the paper. And what they're going to do is they're going to use a fingerprint to make the main body of the animal, and then they're going to use the markers or whatever you have at your cart to draw the rest of the animal. So they can make a giraffe, and they could put their thumbprint and then put lines and a big neck. They can make a horse, put their thumbprint sideways and make a head and legs and a tail. They could make a bear, put their thumbprint this way and put ears on it, however that might be. Okay. Then the next question says, why was it strange that God sent Peter to Cornelius' house? And the correct answer should be Cornelius wasn't a Jew, and it was against the law for Jews to go to the houses of non-Jews. And so then you're going to have kids work together to write down 10 laws from the Bible. So a hint, You can find the 10 Commandments in Exodus 20 of your Bibles, and they should write those down. And then the fourth question is, what was God telling Peter about non-Jews? And the answer is that he loves them and he wants everyone to know about him. And then you're going to have kids use the scrap paper that they'll have in here to create people of different races and cultures and glue them onto the paper. So you'll have a bunch of different color construction paper in here, and they'll just make people to glue onto the paper. Okay, so then you're going to close with, so that's going to be a little chaotic, just so you know, and that's okay. And what you're going to close with is, so guys, what sounded easy at first, just answering 4 questions, turned into a much bigger job than you thought. And actually, instead of using scrap paper, we're just going to have kids use the markers that you have to color people of different races, different cultures onto your paper, because we're not going to cut and have all that paper. Okay, sorry. So you're going to say, it's kind of like what Peter experienced in today's story. Obeying Jesus' command to tell others about him got much bigger than he thought when he discovered the good news of Jesus was for everybody and not just the Jews. And a lot of times, guys, that happens in life. We think something's going to be simple and it turns into a way bigger deal, kind of like this construction. So then make it personal. Think about a time in your life when you thought something was going to be small and then it turned into a way bigger job. How did you use determination and keep going? And then just remind them, so guys, just remember our bottom line, keep going even when the job is bigger than you think. And then for memory verse, what you're going to do, help kids look up Galatians 6:9. Practice saying the verse several times with the hand motions using their cards. And then you're really going to point out the phrase, at the right time. And you're going to tell kids that it's important to remember that about this verse, that God does things at the right time. And then what you're going to do is hand out blank paper and markers to all the kids, and they're going to draw a clock on their paper. And then they're going to incorporate the verse into the clock. So probably girls are going to get a little more creative. Boys, hopefully you can even get them to write the verse, and that's okay. If they don't, just have them write the clock and then practice the verse. And then just close by saying, so guys, Peter and Cornelius met at the right time. God planned it all out just perfectly for them and his purposes. And the same thing happens for us. God does things at just the right time. Like in our verse when he tells us that we're going to gather a harvest at the right time if we don't give up. We don't know when that time is going to be, but God does, and it's perfect just like he is. So keep going even when the job is bigger than you think, because God will help you complete it at just the right time. So then for prayer, just have kids sit in a circle and explain that each person's going to pray the bottom line for the next person. So God help Sherry to keep going even when the job is bigger than he thinks or she thinks. Make sure each kid gets a turn and then prompt them if they can't remember the words or their friend's name. And then just close by saying, God, we thank you for being with us all the time and making sure that everything happens at the right time. Help us to all keep going even when the job is bigger than we think. Amen. And then as their parents come, just have kids show them their clock or tell them about their big piece of paper and tell them what they learned about today. So guys, that's it. Hopefully you got a chance on the Facebook page to check out some of the amazing things that parents said about you guys as leaders. I'm so thankful for everything you do each week. I just hope that every week when you walk into these classrooms, you just remember what a huge part you are playing in the foundation of these kids' faith. And really, what you do is amazing. Make sure that you fill out your attendance sheets, and if you have kids that weren't here last week, that they get a parent cue and a memory verse. These are super duper important. We want to make sure each kid has one for the whole month. Thank you guys for serving, and I'll see you on Sunday.